Hello everyone. It's no secret that vitamins are necessary for the human body to function properly. However, about the danger that these can pose, seemingly very beneficial substances, you probably had no idea. So by watching this video to the end, you will find out what will happen to your body if you do not follow the recommendations for using the drugs. Today we will talk about a guy who ate 150 vitamins for breakfast. You will see what happened to his bones. This is not medical advice. The video is purely educational. The characters are depersonalized and their names have been changed. A 14-year-old boy, whom we'll call Tajikistan, was brought to the emergency room of Shriners Children's Hospital with a broken arm, toothache, and general muscle weakness. He was not a priority patient, so he had to wait a long time. The young man fainted and slipped into a coma while waiting in line. None of the staff understood what had happened, as this had never happened before. That spring, TJ and his mother had a tough time. Every day, coming back from school, the boy saw his father who did nothing but drink. And then one fine day, his dad went for groceries and never came back. His mother fell into depression when left alone. Eventually, she decided to drastically change her entire life and move to America. Their family was not poor, but they knew English poorly, which caused a lot of inconvenience. For example, they could easily mix up goods in the supermarket if they looked unusual. From an early age, Tajikistan really loved chewing candies, and he became curious about what they taste like in America. Mom bought him a lot of jars of vitamins, mistaking them for sweets. Daily, the young man consumed 40 pieces for breakfast, unaware that these were vitamins, which is strange, as few parents allow their child to consume sweets in such quantities. You have to agree, that's a lot. A few days later, the mother noticed that the boy's stomach was swollen, but didn't pay much attention to it. The thing is, they always joked with their son that you can get fat quickly from American food, and decided that fast food burgers were to blame. If the mother had paid attention to this problem right away, instead of blaming it all on the caloric content of the food, many troubles could have been avoided. One day, sitting in front of the TV, Tajikistan opened another can of vitamins and, engrossed in some interesting video, didn't even notice how he emptied it. There were exactly 150 pieces in it. About an hour after that, the guy couldn't stop urinating. He was sobbing from terrible toothache, and it felt like his whole body was being squeezed by a belt. The pain started to spread to his throat. When the mother tried to go down the stairs with her son, he slipped, fell, and broke his arm. The ambulance took him to the emergency room in a state of shock. As I already said, at first the doctors thought the guy had a regular fracture, but when he fell into a coma, the staff got seriously scared. The broken bone was just a warning bell, signaling a serious problem. Studying his medical history, it was hard to immediately determine what exactly had happened. There were assumptions that he had dropsy, and due to the accumulated fluid, his stomach swelled up. Then they concluded that Tajikistan's liver was damaged. A blood test confirmed this diagnosis, but it also turned out that the guy has hypercalcemia, an increased concentration of calcium in the blood plasma. What's interesting is that the vitamins that Tajikistan ate didn't contain any calcium. According to his mother, her son didn't eat any other food after those vitamins. A huge concentration of vitamins from A to E was found in the blood, but there was absolutely no zinc or iodine. The thing is, if vitamins B and C dissolve in water and are excreted from the body with urine, then vitamins A and D do not dissolve, therefore, they remain in the blood. They accumulate in the body and do not cause any discomfort for a long time. But when they get into the organs, they can lead to dire consequences. The muscles start to hurt first, the function of the heart and brain is disrupted, and severe headaches occur. Vitamin A, remaining in the liver, continued to destroy its cells. In addition, when it reacts with vitamin D, it suppresses its properties. Imagine that TJ's body contained as much vitamin A as is found in 750 chicken eggs. Vitamin D helps calcium to be absorbed and excreted from the intestine, thus maintaining its level within normal limits. Despite the fact that TJ did not take any calcium-containing supplements, The incredible amount of vitamin A that had accumulated in his body suppressed the function of vitamin D, and the intestine stopped excreting calcium, leading to hypercalcemia. Excess calcium began to accumulate in the bones. Also, vitamin A triggered edema, against which osteoclastosis formed. From ancient Greek, osteo means bone, and clastosis means destruction. In this case, the cells of the bone tissue soften, the bones slowly disintegrate, and calcium from them goes directly into the blood. That's what happened to Tajikistan, as he regularly took chewable vitamins in amounts far exceeding the recommended dose. Therefore, it is logical that even a minor fall led to a broken arm. In the last 100 years, physical injuries caused by high consumption of various nutrients are not uncommon. For example, milk with a high content of vitamin D was invented to prevent rickets in children, but it has become a common cause of bone deformation at an early age. Despite the fact that vitamin D affects the absorption of calcium by the liver, its content in products was not standardized. This led to the fact that by 1956, the British Association of Pediatricians had recorded 204 cases of hypercalcemia in infants caused by the high content of vitamin D in milk. The actively developing disease interfered with the full growth of the child's body. Studies have shown that in Sweden and Norway, vitamin A is consumed on average 6 times more than in Northern Europe. Scientists have found that in those taking vitamin A above the established norm, bone density is on average 10% lower. Therefore, these people are much more at risk of getting a fracture than those who do not abuse vitamins. In 1597, one of the explorers from Denmark decided to stop at new land, today's Canada, on the way to Indonesia. Circumstances were such that his people were forced to eat polar bears. By the end of winter, they developed a strange rash on their skin. They all started to get terribly sick. Only in the middle of the 20th century did scientists prove that the level of vitamin A contained in the bodies of seals and polar bears is critically high for humans. A skeleton of Homo erectus, an upright man, was found in Kenya. The estimated age of this find is 1.5 million years. There were large indentations on the bones, formed as a result of osteoclastosis. Scientists suggest that it was during that period that the amount of meat in the diet of primitive man increased. People did not understand which animals could be eaten and which would be harmful to them. Therefore, the prehistoric man, whose skeleton was found in Kenya, suffered from the same disease as TJ. Science does not stand still, and today people are quite capable of understanding what will benefit their body and what will harm it. But as we see in the case of the guy, cases of intoxication with large doses of vitamins still happen. It's important to know that you can develop chronic hypervitaminosis even if you abuse some of the products that are familiar to us. Remember that vitamin A is in vegetables and fruits, rich in beta-carotene. Also, be careful with the consumption of prunes, liver, and fish oil. A lot of vitamin D is found in red caviar, egg yolks, and fatty fish. It's better not to consume these products too often. The doctors did everything they could. They set the bones and warned about the increased risk of new fractures. The edema was eliminated with diuretics. There's a chance the guy will have to live with chronic hypervitaminosis. In addition, his main organ for removing toxins from the body, his liver, is damaged. This is the sad consequence of consuming ordinary chewable vitamins in large quantities. Tajikistan's story serves as a good reminder to us that it's important to maintain moderation in everything and that any extremes can be harmful. Before buying or consuming anything, it's better to carefully read the instructions. Probably this will help to avoid many unnecessary problems. If you agree with this, share the video with your friends. Let them think about it too. That's all for today. See you!